And honestly, I legit don't think since I've been doing FM, I've managed a club who've had such consistent conveyor belt of quality youth players coming through their actual academy. It's mad.
Don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. I won't wait for you, 'cause you keep telling lies. I keep going high, she keeps going low. At the end of the day, she's gone. But you don't wait for me, 'cause I keep breathing fire. And you keep telling lies.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode and a brand new week of Outcasts 2 Icons. If you've been enjoying the series up to this point, can't believe we're this far into it already, drop a like on the video, helps out the channel, algorithm ultras, all that jazz. I like your work lately, boys. I like your work. Today I thought we'd start on the page of Josip Glavaš. I don't think we've really shown him for a little while. Still only 19 years old, of course, doing lovely things for us this season, mostly as a sort of bit part player. He sort of starts as many games as he appears off the bench from. He's been mostly used, he's been used sparingly, particularly since we got into the knockouts of the Europa Conference League. But the thing is, I think it's always important to slowly bed players like Glavaš into the team, and I think he's done an excellent job for us this year. 6 goals and 3 assists across all competitions, which is pretty damn good. And I think he was my sort of hopeful replacement for someone like Flans, and I really do feel like him playing slightly deeper is the key to him, purely because I really like a left-footed player in our attacking midfield role. They seem to perform better, or at least someone who's really competent on their left, whereas a right-footed player slightly deeper, sitting in that Flansy or Josip Glavaš role. And with Flans being so inconsistent, whether he has the trait or not, he is inconsistent. I feel like that's where Glavaš really will flourish eventually, and I'm hoping that he can step in and do the job for us. In other news, he's also started doing charity car washes at the weekend. He just likes to raise a bit of money for charity, and there's really not much I can say about that. He's just a really lovely man. Now, we have had a little chunk of games off camera. I'll show you in the between part, you know, the upside down world, so to speak. But we've got Olympiacos today. But before that, we had ourselves a youth intake. And honestly, I legit don't think since I've been doing FM, I've managed a club who've had such consistent conveyor belt of quality youth players coming through their actual academy. It's mad. So this is it. You're seeing it on your screen right now. Once again, for the third season in a row, every season we've been at Sassuolo, we've had a 5-star potential youth player. And I don't think I've managed to string that sort of thing together. Not at a club like Sassuolo. You sometimes get that at smaller clubs with good youth facilities where the squad quality isn't quite there. But we're a side who are one of the, arguably the top 6 teams in Italy. Well, not even arguably. We literally finished there last season. So to consistently be turning out players that are considered 5-star potential within our team is kind of nuts. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Now, I'll just show you the main couple that I want to highlight. We also got a few guys. 3 of them, in fact, were from other clubs. One was from Parma, one was from a team in Albania, and one was from a team in, I think, Michigan, which is pretty damn cool. The biggest star of the bunch, the one that is actually 5-star, is Cosimo Di Bianchi, a 15-year-old striker cum left winger. Now, he's interesting to me because obviously as a striker he has got great finish. Well, I mean, for 15 he's got 13 finishing, which is astonishing. Great work rate too, which I love to see out of a striker. Lacks a little bit some of the physicals, but again, he has room to grow into that side of things. But the thing is about him as well, he's left-footed and already has 12 crossing and decent technique to go with it, as well as his passing. I wonder if this guy might actually be better off as a winger out on that left-hand side, and could well be the answer to some of our prayers later down the line to bring through a young player that could play there. It's really hard to say, because the other thing about having a winger with decent finishing as well, as you see how important that can be in this tactic, how the likes of Kevin and Merlin just haven't quite had that goal-scoring quality because they lack the finishing, whereas Marcus Paolo and Skov Olsen, when they've played there, have done a lot better. And I wonder if someone like Di Bianchi could be the answer to that prayer. Not immediately, but it's exciting. Let me know what you think. The other I want to show is Vincenzo Paris, just because he's 6'7", and he's a model citizen. And look at some of his mentals: aggression, bravery, determination. Tackling's actually decent, as is his positioning for 16, but he's terrible with his heading, and his marking isn't superb as well. But the thing is, heading and marking we can train. Tackling, much more difficult to get that up. The fact that he starts with 13, it makes me wonder if there is still something in this guy. I'm curious. In addition to all of that, Pavlish has signed a new contract. He wanted one, and I was willing to give him. It puts him not as the highest paid player at the club, but one of the highest paid players at the club. And honestly, I'm totally fine with that. If anyone deserves that, it's Dinko. Although he has had some ups and downs this season. Hasn't been getting booked anywhere near as much as last year, and I wonder why. We'll talk more about that so I can show you the stats properly, but I'll show you the off-camera games first, because I don't want to spoil stuff that's happened. So, oh dear. I've tried to rotate and rest as much as I physically can. We'll do a selection advice here to see who's actually available. Kevin obviously is unavailable. Pavlish, I think he's suspended. He is. Oh, that is the last thing we needed. And Cabrera sadly got a little bit of a knock too. So, with that in mind, what do we do? I'm still going to persist with the bear through the middle, with Siggy operating in other areas. He has had some interesting games, as you'll notice by his goal tally, but we'll talk about that more in the off-camera period. Kudus is going to have to play left wing because Merlin's picked up a slight knock and isn't available. Well, he is, but not really. It's definitely a problem, that left side for us. If we could just get through this first game, that's the key. And I don't think I can justifiably play Quarto deeper than that. The Italian stallion that he is. Do I do Glavash alongside Flans, or do I give a debut to Juanjo Contreras? Or is that just a really silly idea? Let's see how they compare. Defensively, anyway. I mean, you could see the noticeable differences between Glavash and Contreras. That's almost literally round peg in a square hole right there. In the key areas, marking better, tackling better, everything other than his agility is coming up Contreras. Do we try it today? I'm doing it. I'm giving Juanjo Contreras his debut for Sassuolo. I've only just brought him up to the senior squad, as I noticed he was playing quite well at times for our under-20 sides, who are garbage. The under-18 side is brilliant. The under-20 side is dreadful. This is not a bad side they've got themselves as well, with Tony Flores and Mikkel Damsgaard as well, of course, of Danish fame. So, that's going to be our lineup. Can they see us through? I just want an away goal. Watch this be an absolute breakout game for Juanjo Contreras. Our other option would have, of course, been to push Milivojev up there and put Rogerinho in, which is definitely something I want to try. But it is nice to actually bring in a player that is actually for that role, and that's the reason we brought him in. Hopefully we can assuage that a little bit with some nice faith in you. There we go. Lovely stuff. Max Leber's still pissed. I wonder how long he's going to be Max Le Sulk for. Any bets? Away, it's a vibrant atmosphere here at Olympiacos. Tony Flores is an outrageous striker. I've seen him in scout reports, but the problem is with teams like, they're still asking quite a lot of money for players like him, and I think it was like 30 million, which is a lot, but, you know, he's a very good player. Keeping things tight here is key. Trying to avoid defeat is also very useful. Kudus having a bit of aerial presence might actually help us, as Flans has made the run through from midfield and slashes us he's already hammered us in front. His 8th goal of the season. He is so hot and cold, it's unbelievable. The plumbing doesn't work, but Nicholas Flans does. That's just a rude piece of play, to be honest. Kudus' aerial presence wins the ball. It's a melee in here, but look at this ball through from Mohamed Kudus. Flans just carries on the run, but that is some finish from Flansy. Hammers it into the back of the net, and after just 5 minutes, we have the lead in Greece. But, I mean, if you could have given me an option for this to be the start of the game. Oh, it's Dionisi with a brilliant strike in Greece here. Incredible stuff from Dionisi. Take the puns away, my friends. Granados' ball in. Headed away. This game has stagnated somewhat. Really haven't seen any highlights since that last one. Granados' ball in. And Milivojev's header is on the bar. By the way, Djurgården 3-0 up against Dinamo Moscow. They are absolutely ridiculous, Djurgården. I don't know what's going on there, but whatever they're feeding them in that particular animal garden is something extra. Dionisi in the wide area, and there's a lot of space for him. If you can find the right pass, which he nearly did. So, 1-0 to us at half-time. We've definitely been the better side so far. Djurgården 4-0 up now in the first half against Dinamo Moscow, and Young Boys and Leicester 1-1. So, I wonder. If Lebert does start to drop in rating quite severely down to your 6.5, 6.4s, then we may have to take a little look at that. Something I've been doing in the off-camera period matches as well. Oh, we could have won that there, and we probably should have done. And that's a really bad effort from Rago. Contreras. That's better. Finds Quarto. Now we've got a bit of stuff going. Quarto's through. Marco Quarto! Good save. That's more like the kind of football I want to see from us. Given their second half performance, I think if they were to find an equaliser, I don't think we'd be able to complain too much. We just haven't quite stepped it up in the second period here. Although, Glavash! What an effort from Josip Glavash, fresh off the bench to replace Quarto, and that is some effort. We're just going to start taking some actions to slowly kill this game off. Just slow that pace down a little bit. Just try to keep hold of the ball and not overdo things. I think we just have to settle for the 1-0 at this point. Kudus, Glavash. Can he get it back to him, though, maybe? Ball all the way through. Sigge Jonsson's on the end of it, and that is an unbelievable finish from Stimir Ørn Sigge Jonsson. He is so much more effective coming in off that right-hand side. He doesn't make any sense because he's literally in the same positions to finish the chances. But I think when he has less time to think about what he's doing, he just seems to be able to finish instinctively. Kudos with a gorgeous ball through, and it's just these first-time finishes that he's able to pull off. We're 2 goals to the good in Greece now, and this is huge. And surely this is going to do it. Moscatelli just hangs onto this ball. We've managed this game brilliantly. Just perfect game management. Olympiacos 0, Sassuolo 2. Definitely they could have had a goal in this game, but Flans' goal and then Siggy wrapping it up for us off the bench. Kudus was superb, and we've given ourselves a hell of a chance at a European semi-final now. I didn't expect it to be as comfortable as that, and maybe it won't in the second leg, but what a game. Right, one game off camera, which is against Inter, so that's going to be difficult, and then back for the second leg. This isn't over yet, though. Right, guys, we're back. the reason I've decided to start the recording here is because this is weird. So we've literally just won at Inter, which is phenomenal. Like, firstly, that's fantastic. Took the lead from Marco Quarto. They equalised Superello for a free kick where he hit the post, bounced back, and he put it in the back of the net. We then scored in the 92nd minute through Granados. But the XG chart, this is showing Inter having less XG than that. This is correct. This right here is correct. Because they had a chance in the 90th minute the 95th minute where they could have equalised. Salisbury went through and he hit the side netting. This is not matching up at all. And it's not even like, where's their goal? So I'm just going to show you the goals here. Flans puts the ball through for Quarto, and he slaps it in off the post at the near post after 15 minutes. I made a change in this game as well, which I think really does help us. Then on 85 minutes, the ball comes into the box for Herrera. His shot hits the post and goes in off, well, Barella coming in, which is annoying. And then in the 92nd minute, Kevin gets the ball on the right-hand side, drives across, Flans pops it round the side, and there was Granados to finish it off to make it 2-1. So yeah, I put on hit early crosses midway through the first half, and it made a massive difference to us. I don't know why, but I don't understand why this isn't matching up properly. This is correct. This is not. So sorry for a slight spoiler. I say slight spoiler. I was going to show you the highlights anyway. There's 3 games that we've also played off camera, which I'll show you in a sec. So anyway, moving on from that weirdness, we were in the first game that we played off camera at home against Roma. Kelly got the ball out on the left-hand side, drops it back for Constantino, great ball in, and at the back post there was Siggy Jonsson for 1-0 after 15 seconds. I think it was 16 actually. It's the fastest ever Sassuolo goal. Then though, Roma managed to break the back line with Barish Aslan getting in behind and dinking it over our goalkeeper. At that point, I decided that I would drop our defensive line back a single notch, and my God, what a difference it made. As on the 70th minute, Quarto picks the ball up, starts driving forward with it. Eventually it ends up round the side, and there was Siggy Jonsson again, hammers it in for 2-1. But you can see that the moment at half-time that I turned our defensive line down a single notch to stop those breaking runs in behind, Roma had nothing for us in the second half, and it was absolutely brilliant, and a really good result for us too, which we were then unable to capitalise on in our next game away against Sampdoria. Honestly, we probably could have lost this game. We were not very good on the night. The defenders stuck really to their task, but we just couldn't get anything going forward. And lastly, we pulled out an absolute Sassuolo special. 61 minutes on the clock against Torino. Kudus gets the ball, Dionisi whips it in, Quarto's flick on header, 1-0 Sassuolo. Big result for us in a pretty tight game. We actually had a much better chance later on in this game, which unfortunately we fluffed as it could have been 2-0, but really that would have been a bit unfair on Torino as we got ourselves a good 1-0 victory. And then, of course, as you already saw, we were able to go and get a 2-1 victory away at Inter Milan. Now, the key thing I did here, I turned on early crosses because I was noticing a lot of runs being made through the middle from Marco Quarto, and I don't find that we hit those often enough, and I wonder if sometimes we tend to overplay things. So I turned it on, and I think it really did make us a lot better in this game. I've been noticing on my other save that hitting early crosses at times, when you've got those late midfield runners, can make an interesting difference, and it really did on the night here, and I actually think we were very good in this game. Now, this doesn't represent things, because again, as I said, Inter's goal was nearly a full XG in terms of chance, because it was basically on the goal line, so he just had to knock it over the line, and then they had the chance late on through Salisbury as well, which they really should have equalised in the 95th minute of this game. A terrible little touch from Rodriguinho, knocked the ball around the side for him, and it was basically a back pass. Yeah, the back pass assist, but he actually fluffed it at the last second, so we do get the result, even if, I don't know, XG graphs, man. But nevertheless, we find ourselves 5th. We're actually still not in those Champions League spots, despite going on a fantastic run, beating Inter and Roma along that path. And we're still only 3 points above Napoli and Milan. They are really putting the hammer down, trying to keep up with us all in that little task. We're actually unbeaten at home this season in all competitions, which is kind of mad. Now, obviously, we're actually going to have to get to the fixture in the midday, because obviously stop things directly after the Inter game because of the weirdness. But still, 5th in the league right now, 61 points on the board. We got 68 last season, and we still have 6 games to go. We would just need to, I think we can definitely better our points tally from last year, given some of the games that we have left this season. A lot of teams down towards the bottom, so I think there's a really strong chance that even if we don't make the Champions League this year, again, because Roma are quite good, we'll still hopefully be able to better our points tally from last year, and that for me is definitely a step in the right direction. The other thing I want to show you as well is that Dinko Pavlich only has 10 yellow cards this season, which for him is actually pretty good. Bearing in mind last year, I think he got 19, which is very bad. I've also now finally got my last coaching badge. I don't know how much difference it really makes as far as these things. I don't think these have really gone up that much with the last one. Does it boost our rep, maybe? Yes, it does. We're finally up to 80% reputation as well. We've been sitting around 75 for a while, but now that we've finally got our last coaching badge, it has pushed us over the edge. We're certainly right up there as managers go, but don't ask us to go anywhere near goalkeepers, apparently. Okay, finally on the match day now. So, we have a 2-0 lead from the away leg. We should be in a comfortable position, but you just never know with these things. We are unbeaten in all competitions at home this season, but again, you know how these things can change. Leicester did win 2-1 in their first game in the end, but still a fairly close tie. Wolfsburg and Fenerbahce fairly close too, but Djurgården looking like a shoo-in for the semi-finals as well, which is, they look like quite a strong prospect. To be fair, they have won a hell of a lot of Allsvenskans in this save, to give them their credit. Right, so obviously Kevin can't play here, but that's fine by me. Kelly is not going to play today in that left-hand side role. I want to put Kudos in that position. Pavlish will play. Why on earth would we drop out Diko Pavlish today? This is not a time for that. Everybody else, though, unless Cabrera is, or is he available? Yes, he is. Plus, they'll both be suspended for the next league game, so it makes sense to get them in here. Lombardo through the middle. G. How about no? Matt, in the editing room here. I'm just editing this video, and I've just noticed that in every game in this episode, we were playing a false 9 with Max Lebert playing as a false 9. And I've been racking my brains trying to figure out why we were playing that system. And then it's hit me. On Friday night's video, someone left a comment about how we should get our captain to talk to Max Lebert about staying, and I was like, God, why didn't I think of that? So on Saturday morning, I came into the save to have a little look to see if I could make that work. Now, sadly, it doesn't actually, as none of the players were actually able to talk to Max Lebert about it. But then you know when you load into your save, and you know that you can't progress anything without spoiling anything. I mean, this is more of a creative thing. I sometimes just look around stuff, and I was looking through the tactics we were been using, and I think when I actually saved the game, I had it selected on the wrong tactic, which is really dumb of me, but that's essentially what I think has happened there. So yeah, annoying, but we move on. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with for today's game. Kudos has done a really good job on that left side, particularly in Europe, so I hope that he can keep doing it, really. It's nice to see as well. Quadrato up to 11 goals this season. I think he got 12 last year. Yeah, 12 in all comps last season and 8 assists. This season, 11 goals and 5 assists. Same kind of approach as last time, I guess. That will see us through. Although I might try out the early crosses thing if I notice that we're in a position to get some of those runs going. Particularly in a team that keeps a lot of possession. We can basically taste the Europa Conference League semi-finals. And I'm really proud of the lads, actually, for not getting too bogged down in the disappointment of not qualifying for the next round of the Europa League. They really have stepped it up in the Europa Conference League, and I'm incredibly impressed with them. I knew that we'd be one of the favourites for it, but we've actually been very composed. So I'm excited to see us hopefully get this one over the line here and continue our excellent run. I would like to see a little bit more out of Max Lebert lately. He's been on a dreadful run of form, but I have to have faith in him because, I said I'd give him a little run, and we are still winning games at least. The plan is, literally, if we just don't concede twice today, we're probably fine. That's the real deal here. They're going to have to score twice, no matter what, even to just take us to extra time. Granados with the free kick. Ooh, goes all the way through to the back post, but Pavlish will mop that up. It's nice to have Pav back in the team. Gives us a little bit of extra defensive stability in there. Whips it through for Kudos. Could maybe turn a shoot. Might not need to. Good block, but Pavlish is going to keep this in. In fact, he might even be able to... Oh, he's got so many bodies around him. Yeah, no, he's not really the most dribbly of players. Moscatelli head in one long, and Quarto should win this easy. Granados, there's such a space through for Nicholas Flans, and he nearly replicated his goal from the first game. I'm going to test it, the hitting early crosses thing, because today feels like the type of day that we could definitely flourish from that. Just holding the ball in the corner here, maybe we could get in there, and yes, Quarto does brilliantly to intercept it, and now he's got speed. He is just driving forward. He's going to hopefully go into the box here, cuts through a few challenges. Marco Quarto, lovely play. A pretty subdued first half from us, to be honest. Nobody's had a shot on target yet. They've had no shots at all. They have finally had a shot. It's taken them an hour, but they have had a shot. We haven't seen it yet, or at all, but we've still got to be careful here. Out wide for Rago. Oh, hang on. Watch out for that low cross. It's a chance here, potentially. All the way through. Oh, good block. Oh, shit. Miguel Rodriguez gets the goal for Olympiacos, and, well, we just haven't really come out in this second period. We seem quite content to just sort of sit on our current advantage, and that's not what we needed there. We allowed way too much space in the box for them, and we're going to have to try and get some stuff going here. Well, I thought the chance had gone when the shot's blocked, but it just gets through the crowd of bodies, and Moscatelli maybe should be doing... Well, not even maybe. He has to do better with that. He really does. Being a goal down in this game, knowing that they do need another... I mean, that will probably help us as well in a way, as Merlin Kelly getting through the middle there, and really could have done better there, but it is Merlin Kelly after all. We're just going to set about trying to kill this game off at 1-0 defeat, to be honest, because I think that's our best bet. Uh-oh. Damsgaard now. Clipping it long. Moscatelli's through, and he collects the ball nicely. Well done. That's what we needed. Just take the pressure off. I was going to get Max Lebert off for Siggy, but we needed to make a sub elsewhere, and unfortunately he fell by the wayside as Kelly's through the middle again. He's going to shoot, and Merlin Kelly's shot is well saved. Oh, my goodness me. We are going to lose our first home game of the season. It's been a poor performance from us in general, actually, tonight. Just didn't really turn up. I think the idea I had about the early crosses in this game did not work for us at all. Against Inter, it was very, 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 very fruitful. But today, it just did not really work for us. And I think we're still a bit unlucky to lose, maybe. But still, they were They dug deep and found themselves a goal, but it wasn't enough, and we do go through. It's a shame to finally lose our unbeaten record at home in all comps this season, but we're still unbeaten in the league. Leicester do go through, but only very narrowly over Young Boys. Wolfsburg beat Fenerbahce by 3-1 in the end, and it's 5-2 to Djurgården. So, who do we get? Is it Young Boys or Leicester? Yeah, it is Leicester. We get another £500,000, which is very useful as well. Right, this is not going to be an easy tie, but honestly, just getting to the semis is more than the board expected, and I'm very happy with that. It's also our first defeat since we lost that random game to Salernitana in there as well. So, well, you know what next episode's going to be? It's going to be the 2 games against Leicester. We've got Napoli up next in the league at home. That's big. We are at home, though, so you never know. Although, that's not going to help. Radu's there too. Frosinone, though, and Udinese in there as well. There's definitely some winnable games. I think we're well in the battle for the Champions League, but I think Roma might just be that little bit too strong for us. And we've still got ourselves an incredible chance at maybe making a European final. I don't know if we'll quite be strong enough, but we're going to give it our bloody best shot. So, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, then drop a like on the video. That would be awesome. If you're new to the channel, subscribe too. That would be bloody sick as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. For Leicester. See you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.